DAW stands for Digital Audio Workstation. It's a software that audio engineers and music producers use to compose, produce, and mix audio. If you're just getting started in music production, choosing one is really overwhelming, but stick around because by the end of this video, you're going to be able to choose the one that'll work best for you. I'll also be getting a beginner's reaction to each one and how she initially feels when using it for the very first time.
Okay, everything that I just added disappeared.
Let's get into it. The type of DAW that you choose will depend on three main things. Number one is your aspirations. Do you want to be an audio engineer, a music producer, a beat maker? Each DAW can do it all, but they'll have strengths and weaknesses that may affect your long-term goals. Number two is the type of music that you're going to produce. Some DAWs are better suited to specific genres. Number three is your budget. All of these DAWs come with free trials, but they vary in price once you take the leap. Based on those 3 points, what I recommend is trying a couple for free, then commit to one that complements your way of working. They're all used by pros in the industry, so there's really no wrong choice. Number one on this list is Ableton Live Lite. Ableton Live is primarily used by electronic music producers and beat makers, but it can be used by any type of music maker. You won't believe how easy it is to sketch ideas and arrange tracks with Live's intuitive interface and built-in tools. One of the best things about Ableton is how fast you can work in it. There aren't any hidden windows or weird workflow issues, and pretty much anything can connect to anything. What makes Ableton so approachable for beginners are its high-quality stock plugins and instruments. Ableton has two views, which makes it unlike any other DAW on this list. Session View allows you to build ideas in blocks of time, which makes it super easy to start building your track. Arrangement View is where you can arrange the different sections of time into a cohesive song, and it's really effective when you start to learn how to combine those two views. Their own push controller is one of the best DAW controllers, especially for live performance. You can operate the whole DAW with the screen off. It's crazy. Ableton has a 90-day trial of their Suite Edition, which is the most feature-rich version. However, if you're looking to get everything you need to learn, create, master, and release your music, Ableton Live Lite is included in Lander Studio. Check it out here.
Feel pretty comfortable looking at this. I do like how each track has an individual color. I like that it's organized. It's pretty clear. I don't feel totally overwhelmed looking at this screen. I put something together here using some Lander samples, using a software instrument, as well as Analog Lab. And I found it pretty easy to use. Everything was listed on the left-hand side of the screen, whether it was for my plugins or my software instrument. All in all, I felt that this was a pretty pleasant experience. It wasn't too painful in figuring out where everything was. On a scale from 1 to 5, I would give Ableton like a 4. But what are we saying for 5 is like the easiest DAW to use for beginners? Okay.
Next up is Garageband. Garageband is Apple's free DAW. It's basically a tampered down version of their more fully featured DAW, Logic Pro. What's great about these two is that if you know Garageband really well, you're gonna have no problem transitioning to Logic Pro. With Garageband, you'll get access to a ton of high quality instruments, samples, and built-in effects. There's even a drummer that you can play along with that's great for sketching out ideas and songs. The only downside about Garageband is that it doesn't come with a dedicated mixer. However, if you're just starting out, that shouldn't be that important right now. You can still get great mixes with GarageBand's built-in faders on each track. Obviously, GarageBand is only for Mac computers, but what you can do on any computer or device is subscribe to our channel. If you hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when we release a new video, which will help you learn more about music production.
All right, I'm looking at GarageBand here. I just opened up the software and it says choose a track type, software instrument, audio, drummer. I'm a little confused because I'm eventually gonna need to use all of them, so I'm curious to know why they're asking me to choose the track type, but I'm guessing that will just simply be the first track that they will give me to record. First impressions, pretty simple layout. It's clear where I can add a new track. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so every time I check the plus, I can add a new track and decide if I want to do software, audio, or drummer. I get the feeling that this is very much geared for beginners. All right, I've made a little something here, and all in all, it was fairly easy to use. I used a lot of Garageband's software instruments. They have lots of great options. On a scale from 1 to 5, I would rate GarageBand a 5 on 5 in terms of ease of use. I found GarageBand very intuitive. I didn't have any trouble finding where things were.
Next up is Reaper. Reaper has a very close place in my heart. I will admit this isn't the most beginner-friendly DAW, but at its price point and the trial, however long you want, you'll have to check it out and make the decision for yourself. It's definitely a pro DAW that you can stick with for your whole career. If you're into tinkering and customization, look no further. You can customize this DAW with themes and scripts to do pretty much whatever you want. This guy programmed a microphone on a robotic arm that changes positions based on a knob in Reaper. It's literally insane. There's a massive community out there that you can connect with. An added bonus is that it's the least CPU-intensive DAW on this list. The only downside is that it doesn't come with any preloaded instruments, but you can solve that with this massive list of free plugins that I linked right here and in the description. 34 amazing effects plugins are included though. Reaper is available for Windows, Mac, and Linux.
All right, we're looking at Reaper here. First impressions, feeling a little overwhelmed and don't really know where to start. It doesn't seem like there are different tracks yet. I'm not certain how to add a track. Let's see if I right click here. Okay, right click, add new track. There are a lot of icons in which I'm not sure what they do. There is no text anywhere, so I'm not sure where to go to find different sounds or software instruments or plugins. Overall feeling of Reaper is, okay, everything that I just added disappeared. This isn't really something that I feel like I would want to continue using. I would rate Reaper a 3 on 5. I would not use it again because I like to use software instruments.
Next up is FL Studio. FL Studio is a little bit like Ableton Live in that it's really easy to build ideas and arrange them, but the workflow is definitely one of a kind. It's primarily used by hip-hop producers and electronic music makers. It comes with so many incredible instrument plugins as well as high-quality effects plugins. FL Studio's trial gives you unlimited access to the DAW. You'll be able to save and export projects, but you won't be able to reopen them in the trial version. You'll have to upgrade to FL Studio in order to open the projects that you've saved. With their paid versions, you'll get lifetime updates as well as technical support on their forums. FL Studio is available on both Windows and Mac.
Looking at FL Studio, I feel intrigued. It seems like things are clearly laid out, and I'm curious about what this does. Let me see if I can get a sound coming through. Will that be connected? Okay, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to figure out how to get a sound going here.
A few moments later.
Like, what are all those little buttons? Oh, cool. See, that's really cool. Oh, that's so cool. I like this. I like it once I figured out how to do it. I really like how this is laid out and you can easily add and take away different sounds. It is really cool though.
It is, yeah.
That's so cool. I've never seen a program like that. My overall thoughts of FL Studio are that it was pretty fun to make beats, although it did take me some time to figure out how everything worked. On a scale from 1 to 5, I would put FL Studio on a 4 on 5. I would use it again. I am curious about it to keep exploring.
Next up is Studio One by PreSonus. Studio One is one of the best all-around DAWs out there. They pride themselves on suiting every type of music maker from beat maker to mastering engineer. Studio One has different types of templates based on what you're going for, like recording, mixing, mastering, beat making, or even playing a virtual instrument. Similar to Ableton Live, Studio One can also be used for live performance. The best things about Studio One is how the interface is organized and the quality of the instruments that it comes with. Studio One comes with 41 native plugins and instruments. The free trial of Studio One is 30 days and is available on Mac and PC.
Okay, when I open Studio One, it shows me all these different options I have. That's pretty cool. Recording record and mix, master and release, rehearse and perform, play now. There's clearly a plus sign to show me how to add a new track. I like that. I would give Studio One a 2 out of 5 because it took me a while to get set up and I wasn't able to figure out how to do everything that I wanted to do.
If you've been looking into DAWs for 5 minutes or longer, there's no way you haven't heard of the industry standard DAW, Pro Tools. It may sound intimidating for a first DAW, but Pro Tools has a free version that's actually quite approachable. With Pro Tools Intro, you'll have access to 8 audio tracks, 8 MIDI tracks, 8 instrument tracks, and 4 aux and folder tracks, which is more than enough to craft a full arrangement. 36 plugins come with the intro version, which also includes their instrument plugin, Air Expand 2. It has tons of instrument sounds from guitar to drums. If you're thinking that audio engineering or working in a big studio is a part of your aspirations, this is the DAW for you. The trial of Pro Tools Intro is unlimited, so take your time and learn what you need. Pro Tools is available on Mac or PC.
My initial reaction looking at Pro Tools is, ugh. There is a lot of text, there's a lot of, it's very unorganized. To me, it looks very unorganized. I'm not really sure where to begin. There is text on each track to explain what each track does. That's helpful. I'm not particularly excited about using this DAW. It took me a little bit of time to become familiar with how everything works, but once I did, it was pretty simple to create. I would give Pro Tools a 3 on 5.
So that's it. 6 amazingly accessible DAWs for beginners. Leave me a comment below if I missed one that you think is good for beginners to start with. See ya.